All right, so homework 5 is on measures of center, variation, and normal distribution. So first set right here, mean, median, mode. This is pretty straightforward stuff that you guys have probably been doing for a while. So to get let's start with the mode. So you've got 11, 11. That looks like the only one that repeats itself actually. So the mode must be 11. And then you can get the data just off of your calculator. You can do Desmos, graphing calculator. Of course, there's always a way to do all this stuff by hand if you ever want to, or if you ever need to. Those formulas are right in the notes and you'd be able to follow those. So I'm going to show you Desmos with this one. So we've got the median, and then you can type the data set in parentheses. So 11, 14, 11 again, 5, 17, 28, and 3. So the median of this set is 11, and then I'm going to change median to mean and get that, so 12.71. So this section is a lot of calculator work. All right, this next set, mean absolute deviation, variance, and standard deviation. All right, so for this one, we can figure out what the mean is, and like that can be done by hand, and that will help us find the mean average distance. So we can figure out the mean's like 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 8. So all of those together, and there are 7 Boy Scouts, so we divide this by 7. I'm going to do the graphing calculators because this is easier to press buttons quickly. Okay, so 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 8, and then divide that by 7. So the mean comes out to be 4. So then when these things are being calculated, like the mean average distance, it'd be the distance from 1 to 4, the distance from 2 to 4, from 2 to 4, etc. And then you would just average those out. Remember, we do have buttons for all of those on Desmos in your graphing calculator. So we have here the mean average distance, and we can type in our data set 1, 2, 2, 4, 5. Oops. All right, so the mean average distance turns out to be 2. And then we can do the standard deviation. Remember, standard deviation on Desmos is actually supposed to be this one with the P attached to it. And then make sure we don't have too many sets of parentheses. So this would be we'll round it to a 2.33 for the standard deviation. You might even want to do a few more decimals. Let me see what I have written down. Oh yeah, it's 2.33 is fine. Okay, so 2.33. And then the variance isn't quite right on these, so it's a good idea to just take this value that you find and then square it. So you end up with about 5.43. Okay, so that's the calculator work for all 3 of these quantities that we're looking for. The next page has normal distribution curves. So for this one, we have 125 golf scores. So we are going to set up the normal distribution curve, label everything on here. So we are told that the mean is 76. The 76 goes right in the middle. The standard deviation is 3. So we go 3 up on these ones and then 3 down on these ones. That's everything labeled on there. And then you can label all of the percentages that fall within each portion of the bell curve. So first standard deviation is 34.1% in each direction. The next standard deviation goes an additional 13.6% in either direction. And then the last one, we have second to last one. We've got 2.2% in here, and then just 0.1% in these last little tails. All right, so what percentage of the scores are between 67 and 85? So 67 to 85. This one's actually easiest to just eliminate what's not in between them. So not 0.1 or 0.1 over here. So without that 0.2, that leaves you with 99.8. So it's almost all of the data. What is the probability that a score is no more than 79? Okay, so no more than 79 would get rid of all of this right here. So again, subtraction is probably an easier bet with this one. So I would do 1 minus and then subtract away the 13.6. I guess, I'm sorry, I should do 100 if I'm not going to change those to decimals. Plus 2.2 plus 0.1. And so that leaves you with 84.1%. That would be over here to the left of 79. Okay, and then last piece, about how many scores fell between one standard deviation of the mean. All right, so you've got 34.1, 34.1, so that is 68.2%, and it's 62.8% of the 125 scores. All right, so let's take the 125 scores and take about 68.2%. So we get 85.25, and that's why it says about, because it's not coming out equally. You can't have a quarter of a golf score. So this would be about 85 scores.